You have known the feeling of falling, the raw, unrelenting moment when the world seems to collapse beneath your feet, and every flicker of light you carried, even the smallest spark, is extinguished into darkness. That moment is not just a chapter in your story. It is the chiseling and sculpting of the statue you are meant to become. The comeback doesn't begin when everything is perfect, or when the storm has fully passed. It begins right here in the ruins of what once was, when the ground beneath you cracks and the horizon feels like a distant, unreachable dream. There is a misconception, a cruel myth whispered by doubt and fear that failure is the end. It is not. It is the forge where resilience is tempered. Thomas Edison, after countless failed experiments, never saw it as failure. He saw progress in every spark that didn't ignite. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Every failure contains the seed of a world-changing invention. What if you viewed your failure the same way as a beginning, a prelude to an inevitable breakthrough? This is the nature of the human spirit, the ability to rise, reshape, and reclaim control of your own story. No matter if you were knocked down by loss, betrayal, addiction, trauma, or despair. These are the places where the true strength of your soul is discovered. Great leaders, thinkers, and dreamers who shaped history were not immune to pain. Abraham Lincoln, who faced defeat after defeat, loss after loss, held onto a vision of unity and freedom. His comeback was his legacy, not his failures. But how do you step out of the darkness of pain when every step feels weighted down? The answer begins in the mind, your strongest battlefield and your greatest ally. The mind can imprison you in the past or set you free into the infinite potential of the present moment. This is not a simple switch. It is a decisive act of defiance against despair. Believing when every cell screams, doubt seeing light when only darkness surrounds. This is the foundation of the comeback. Clarity of vision becomes your compass here. When the fog of pain obscures the path, you must find a single unshakable point to guide you. This is the clarity that drove Henry Ford, who refused to believe failure was final. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again. This time, more intelligently, he said. This clarity fuels the fire of your purpose. What truth are you holding on to now? What dream, no matter how bruised, still flickers in your heart? Purpose is not something grand or distant. It often starts small, like a toddler's unsteady first steps. It is the commitment to keep moving, to keep trying, not despite the pain, but because of it. Purpose is the anchor, the power that transforms discipline into a sacred ritual of rebirth. Discipline is not harsh punishment. It is love in action amid chaos. It is the silent promise you make to yourself that you will come back to who you are, no matter what the world throws at you. Action is where the comeback becomes real. Vision without action is just a postponed dream. But action without vision is chaos. These two must blend inseparable like the tide and the shore. Every small step, a word. Written a call made a morning you rise. When your body protests, is a declaration that you refuse to be defeated. Walt Disney, who faced bankruptcy and rejection before building a kingdom of imagination and hope, understood this dance well. He said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." Gratitude is a secret weapon in this fight. Not blind gratitude that ignores hardship, but fierce gratitude that acknowledges every scar and says, "I am still here. I am still learning. I am still growing." It rewires the nervous system to see opportunity to find meaning in the midst of suffering. Gratitude roots you in the present where true transformation happens. Adaptability is the next step in resilience. The world does not bend to our will. We must bend with it, like bamboo in the wind. When plans break, when expectations shatter your ability to pivot and rewrite your story, is what separates the ones who keep falling from the ones who rise again. Like the phoenix in legend, your ability to be reborn is not despite the ashes, but because of them. Learning from failure is a sacred ritual. Every wound is a teacher, every failure, a lesson etched into the architecture of your soul. Great comeback stories aren't returns to old selves. They are the becoming of new ones, stronger, wiser, more compassionate, more determined. Failure is an invitation to rewrite your story in the language of courage and hope. Resilience is not a trait you have or don't. It is a muscle you build with every choice to stand try again, love and hope once more. It is the quiet heartbeat beneath every great comeback. That fire inside you is not born of luck or circumstance. It is the echo of every ancestor who refused to quit, every pioneer who faced the unknown and stepped forward anyway. It is the quiet defiance that Henry David Thoreau captured when he said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined." But confidence isn't the absence of fear. It is action in spite of fear. The comeback demands you look fear straight in the eye and walk forward anyway. Imagine the countless moments in history where the world teetered on the edge of despair, yet those who dared to believe forged new realities. When Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination, he didn't crumble. He built a kingdom out of dreams and courage. When Lincoln faced crushing defeat after crushing defeat, he didn't retreat into bitterness. He crafted a new vision of unity and freedom, knowing the cost, but never abandoning hope. These aren't stories of perfection, but stories of persistence. Persistence is the heartbeat of the comeback. It is waking up when every cell in your body wants to stay buried in yesterday's pain. It is refusing the siren call of surrender and instead stepping into the fire, knowing it will shape you, not destroy you. There is a rhythm here, a cadence of rising, falling, and rising again that echoes the very nature of life itself. Look back at the inventions, the discoveries, the revolutions that changed everything. They were born in the crucible of failure and rebirth. Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was never wrong. He invented it because he refused to stop trying. This refusal is your inheritance. It is encoded in your DNA, carried through millennia of survival adaptation and triumph. But this isn't about heroics or grand gestures. The comeback lives in the quiet moments when no one else is watching, when you choose to keep going, to keep believing, to keep moving, even when the path is unclear. It lives in the small acts of courage, the silent promises you make to yourself in the dark. And there will be days when doubt feels heavier than hope, when the past tries to pull you back like quicksand. These days are part of the journey, not detours from it. They are the tests that temper your spirit. Remember, the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fires. Belief in yourself is the wellspring from which all comebacks flow. Without belief, the setback becomes a prison. With it, even the deepest wounds can become wings. This belief isn't arrogance or denial. It's a profound, unshakable knowing that no matter how broken you feel, you are capable of more than you've ever imagined. Visualize your comeback as a seed buried deep beneath the soil of your pain. It is hidden, now, but alive. It is waiting for the right conditions. Your belief, your courage, your relentless action to push through the dirt, reach for the sun, and bloom into something extraordinary. This is where clarity becomes your compass. Again, the clarity that knows your setback is not your identity. but your experience. It's the clarity that helps you see past the immediate pain into the horizon of your potential. Like a lighthouse cutting through the storm, it guides you home to yourself. When Andrew Carnegie built his empire, he did not start with power or wealth. He started with clarity, a vision of what could be, and the will to create it. His setbacks from poverty to personal loss did not define him. They refined him. He knew that setbacks are not the end of the road, but the bend before the straightaway. Your comeback requires that same clarity. It requires that you stop trying to control every outcome and instead focus on what you can control: your mind, your actions, your refusal to quit. With clarity comes purpose, that deep driving force that carries you through the darkest nights. Purpose is your North Star, unwavering even when the world shifts beneath you. It is the reason why you rise each morning and take one more step forward. Purpose is born in the soil of pain, but blossoms into power. It is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's simply the commitment to be better today than you were yesterday. The promise to yourself to keep fighting, keep loving, keep dreaming. And as you walk this path, discipline becomes your sacred rhythm. Discipline is not punishment. It's love in action. It is showing up for yourself even when your body aches, even when your mind whispers to give up. It is the muscle that builds strength, the steady drumbeat that carries you through the noise. Look at the greats: Ford, Carnegie, Disney, Edison. They weren't perfect, but they were disciplined. They didn't wait for motivation or inspiration to strike. They created it through habit, through routine, through relentless dedication. Action is the language of transformation. Without it, dreams stay dreams, visions stay invisible. But when you move, even just a little, the universe takes notice. It bends, shifts, and rearranges to meet your will. No matter how small the step, it is a victory. It is a declaration that your setback will not have the final word. Gratitude grounds you in the power of now. It's the recognition that even in pain, there is something to hold on to, something to build from. Gratitude is not about ignoring hardship, but about honoring your journey, the wounds, the lessons, the moments of grace that flicker in the darkest times. Gratitude rewires your brain to see opportunity, to find light in the cracks. This is adaptability, the art of bending without breaking. The world is in constant motion, and rigidity only leads to fracture. Like bamboo in the wind, flexibility ensures survival and growth. The comeback is born in this adaptability, in your ability to pivot, to change course, to reinvent your story when the old maps no longer serve you. Learning is your ally on this journey. Each setback is a lesson, a master class in resilience. When you embrace learning, you turn wounds into wisdom, failures into stepping stones. Resilience is not a fixed trait. It is a muscle you build with every choice to stand again, to try once more, to hope when hope feels impossible. You are not who you were before the setback. You are who you choose to become because of it. This is your story. The comeback is not a future possibility. It is happening now, in the beating of your heart, in the fire of your spirit. The setback was never the end. It was the beginning. There is a quiet power in embracing the unknown, in stepping beyond the comfort zone of what you know, and into the vast landscape of what could be. Every great comeback requires this leap. It demands surrender to uncertainty, but not defeat. To lean into the unknown is to trust the unfolding of your own story, even when the path is hidden in shadow. The mind wants certainty, but life offers only questions. The greatest leaders, the fiercest warriors of spirit, are those who learned to dance with doubt rather than be paralyzed by it. They understood that clarity is not a fixed point, but a lighthouse that shifts as the waves rise and fall. Like Lincoln, who wrestled with his own demons, yet moved forward. You too can carry the storm inside you while reaching for the calm beyond it. Your setback may feel like a tombstone, marking an end, but it is a seedbed for new growth. When the soil is cracked and barren, the roots dig deeper, and from that depth comes the power to reach heights you never imagined. Resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the strength to persist through it. You were designed to rise. The DNA of humanity is stitched with stories of survival and triumph, stories that remind us no darkness lasts forever. This truth pulses in your veins even now. Your comeback will be forged through mindset, the unyielding belief that no matter the pain, you will keep moving forward. It is a defiant whisper against the noise of defeat, a roar that grows louder with every step. Mindset is the master key that unlocks every door. It is the foundation beneath your feet, the wind in your sails. Without it, clarity and purpose falter. With it, mountains become stepping stones. This mindset is not born from luck, nor from avoiding hardship. It is born from the willingness to look your fear in the eye and say, "I will not be broken." It is a battle cry heard across history, in the words of Edison, Carnegie, and Ford, men who refused to bow to failure and instead carved their destiny with relentless resolve. Yet mindset alone is not enough. It must be paired with vision, the ability to see beyond what is to what could be. Vision is the beacon that calls you out of the darkness. It is the seed of possibility planted in the ashes of loss. Vision fuels the fire of purpose, and purpose fuels the discipline required to chase that vision with every ounce of your being. Discipline is not drudgery. It is devotion, a sacred covenant you make with your future self. It is waking up early, showing up consistently, and doing the work that others shy away from. Your purpose, no matter how battered, remains a lighthouse. It may flicker, but it never extinguishes. It is the pulse that keeps you alive and drives you toward the person you are meant to be. Action turns all these forces into reality. It is the bridge between who you are and who you will become. Each step forward is a victory, a triumph of will over circumstance. Gratitude anchors you in the present, giving you the strength to appreciate how far you've come and the courage to continue. It rewires your brain, opening doors to optimism and hope. Adaptability keeps you flexible in the face of change. The comeback is a journey of constant evolution, and your ability to pivot will determine your ultimate success. Learning is the wisdom harvested from every setback. It transforms pain into power, wounds into wisdom. Resilience is the muscle you build with every choice to rise again. It is the heartbeat of every comeback story. Your comeback is not a distant dream. It is happening now, in the breath you take, in the courage you summon, in the fire that burns inside you. You are not your setback. You are the strength that rises from it. The journey back from a setback is not linear. It is a spiral, twisting, turning, sometimes doubling back, but always moving upward. The climb is steep, and the air grows thin, but every breath taken at the summit tastes sweeter because of the struggle. The setback carves out space inside you, a hollow where strength gathers like a quiet storm waiting to break free. This inner storm is fueled by your refusal to let the past dictate your future. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-pity or bitterness, but those are cages, not sanctuaries. The truth is, your greatest enemy is often the story you tell yourself about your setback. It's the voice that says, "I'm not enough, I'm broken beyond repair," or "This is who I am now." But the comeback rewrites that story with every heartbeat. It demands a new narrative, one where you are not defined by what happened to you, but by how you respond to it. You are not the victim of circumstance. You are the author of your destiny. This is not just philosophy. It is a declaration of power. Look at history's giants. Lincoln faced depression and political failure before becoming one of America's greatest presidents. Oprah Winfrey rose from poverty and trauma to become a beacon of hope and success. They didn't deny their pain, but they refused to be enslaved by it. Mindset is the first fortress you build. It is the unshakable belief that you can and will rise again. This mindset is not fragile optimism. It is fierce determination rooted in the deep knowing that setbacks are temporary and comebacks are inevitable. Your mindset controls your reality. When Henry Ford was told he would never succeed, he believed otherwise. That belief fueled him to build an empire and revolutionize transportation. Your comeback requires the same ironclad mindset. With mindset comes clarity. The fog of confusion and doubt is thick after a setback, but clarity acts like a laser cutting through the noise. It is the moment you see your path, not as a series of obstacles, but as a series of opportunities. Purpose is the flame that keeps clarity alive. It's the reason you rise each morning and put one foot in front of the other, even when the road feels endless. Purpose anchors you in something bigger than your pain, something worthy of your struggle. Discipline is the bridge between purpose and action. It is the daily commitment to show up, do the work, and honor the promise you made to yourself. It is the difference between dreams that remain dreams and dreams that become reality. Action is the heartbeat of transformation. Without action, hope withers. But action fueled by vision, purpose, and discipline becomes unstoppable. Walt Disney didn't just dream of a magical kingdom. He worked tirelessly to build it brick by brick. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lost to what remains and what can be gained. It is the lens that reveals blessings hidden in plain sight, even in the darkest moments. Adaptability is the art of bending without breaking. Life's setbacks often come disguised as endings, but they are often beginnings in disguise. Like bamboo in the storm, flexibility ensures survival and growth. Learning is the harvest of every setback. Each failure, each wound, each disappointment teaches you something invaluable. It transforms pain into wisdom, weakness into strength. Resilience is the muscle you develop by repeatedly choosing to rise. It is not an inherited trait, but a cultivated skill. Every time you refuse to quit, your resilience grows stronger. Your comeback story is being written right now in the choices you make, the courage you summon, the love you give yourself. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a masterpiece in progress. The weight of setbacks can feel crushing, like chains wrapped tightly around your soul. But remember, chains only hold power if you let them. The power to break free lies dormant inside you, waiting for the moment you claim it. History's greatest comeback stories are not about luck or privilege. They are about that decisive moment when someone refused to be defined by their past and chose to rise anyway. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Over 1,000 failed attempts stood between him and the light bulb. Most would have surrendered, defeated by failure. But Edison's perspective was different. Each failure was a step closer to success, a discovery in disguise. "I have not failed," he said. "I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset is your roadmap. It's a refusal to let setbacks become your final chapter. Belief is the cornerstone. Without belief, even the clearest vision can collapse into doubt. Belief is what fuels action when the world tells you to stop. It is the fire that keeps your soul warm in the coldest nights of despair. You may not see the path clearly now, but belief is the compass that keeps you walking. Clarity emerges not from certainty, but from commitment. It's the clarity to say, "This setback will not define me," and to keep your eyes fixed on the horizon, even when the way is blurred. Clarity is the quiet strength that guides your steps when the noise of failure threatens to drown out your purpose. Purpose is your anchor, but it is also your sail. It roots you when the storm rages and propels you forward when the winds of change blow. Purpose transforms pain into power and struggle into meaning. When Oprah Winfrey was told she was unfit for television, she didn't walk away. She found purpose in proving the world wrong and inspiring millions. Discipline carves the path through resistance. It's the grit that keeps you moving on days when motivation fails. Discipline is the soldier in your army, fighting for your dreams when your spirit wanes. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Action is the heartbeat of comeback. The smallest step taken with intention beats louder than the loudest promises made without movement. Action creates momentum 1 foot in front of the other until the mountain is climbed. Gratitude is the anchor that prevents you from drifting into despair. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what remains. Gratitude is the secret weapon of resilience. It softens the edges of pain and sharpens your appreciation for growth. Adaptability keeps you fluid in a world that refuses to stand still. Life's setbacks often rewrite your plans, but flexibility allows you to rewrite your story with resilience. Like water, adaptability finds the cracks and fills them with strength. Learning transforms pain into wisdom. Every setback carries a lesson if you are willing to see it. Failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher. Each wound holds a secret about who you are and what you're capable of becoming. Resilience grows each time you rise. It is forged in the fire of your determination and polished by the storms you survive. It is not about never falling, but about rising stronger every time. Your comeback is not a distant dream. It is the promise you make to yourself in this very moment. It is the story you are writing with your courage, your will, your unbreakable spirit. You are not defined by your setbacks. You are defined by your comebacks. The journey toward your comeback demands something deeper than mere willpower. It demands a sacred kind of patience. The patience to sit with discomfort, to endure uncertainty, and to trust the slow unfolding of your transformation. Just like the mighty oak, you don't grow overnight. You grow through seasons of struggle, rooted in unseen depths, stretching toward the light in quiet faith. This patience is not passive resignation. It is active endurance, a bold refusal to give in to despair even when progress seems invisible. It's the calm in the chaos, the steady beat of a drum that keeps you moving when the world feels like it's crumbling beneath your feet. Discipline sharpens patience into purpose. It's the relentless commitment to the process, no matter how small the steps or how long the journey. When Henry Ford's first automobiles failed to impress, he kept returning to the drawing board, refining, improving, innovating. This relentless drive is the engine of comeback. Vision acts like a magnet pulling you through the darkest valleys toward the summit. Your vision is the story your soul longs to tell, a future that excites you so deeply it burns away fear and doubt. It's the reason why the night feels less cold and the journey feels worth every hardship. Belief fuels vision and patience alike. Without belief, the weight of setbacks crushes dreams into dust. But with belief, the impossible becomes possible. With belief, the seed of hope blossoms into a tree of strength, bearing fruit long after the storm has passed. Gratitude deepens your resilience. It turns suffering into a sacred teacher, and pain into a catalyst for growth. Gratitude is the alchemy that transforms wounds into wisdom and loss into lessons. Like Lincoln, who found gratitude even in his darkest hours, you too can find light in the shadows. Adaptability keeps you alive in the face of change. The comeback is a dance with uncertainty, and your willingness to pivot, to evolve, to rethink your strategy will determine your victory. It's the difference between breaking under pressure and bending with grace. Learning is the legacy of every setback. Each challenge carries a message, and every failure is a chapter in your manual for life. This wisdom cannot be rushed. It must be lived, experienced, and integrated into your soul. Resilience is the culmination of all these forces. It is the heartbeat of the human spirit, the song of the comeback. Resilience is not a gift, but a choice. Every time you choose to rise, you strengthen that heartbeat. Remember, your comeback is a promise made in the silent chambers of your heart. It is forged in the crucible of pain and polished by perseverance. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. Becoming stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever before. You are the comeback story the world needs. Every setback carries with it a moment of profound choice, a crossroads where your future hangs in the balance. Will you surrender to the weight of defeat, or will you rise with relentless tenacity? This moment defines everything. It is the moment when your mindset either becomes your prison or your liberation. The stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. When Edison failed thousands of times, he told himself, "I'm discovering the way." When Lincoln faced political ruin, he told himself, "This is not the end." These stories became their reality. They sculpted the foundation of their comeback. You too hold the pen to your story. The narrative inside your mind is your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. Choose to make it your ally. Choose to feed your mind with belief, vision, and clarity. These forces will become the architects of your comeback. Discipline demands your loyalty. It calls for daily sacrifices, relentless commitment, and the courage to confront your weaknesses. It's the quiet hero behind every great success, unseen but indispensable. Carnegie didn't build his empire by chance. He built it by waking up early, reading voraciously, and working relentlessly. Action is your bridge from thought to reality. No matter how inspired you feel, no matter how clear your vision is without action, all remains dream. Walt Disney didn't just imagine Disneyland. He built it piece by piece, battle by battle. Your action is the heartbeat of your transformation. Gratitude turns the journey into a sacred pilgrimage. It opens your eyes to the gifts wrapped in hardship, the lessons, the growth, the strength. Gratitude fuels resilience, softening the pain and making you whole. Adaptability is your secret weapon. The path to comeback is never straight. It's a winding river flowing around obstacles, carving new ways. Be like water. Flow, bend, and find your way no matter what. Learning converts every failure into a stepping stone. Each setback is a teacher with a brutal curriculum, but an invaluable one. Embrace the lessons. They are the compass that guides you forward. Resilience is the rhythm of your heartbeat, the sound of your soul rising again and again. It is the signature of every comeback story in history, written in sweat, tears, and unyielding will. Your setback is not the end of your story. It is the prologue to a triumphant chapter yet to come. You are not broken. You are breaking through. When the world tells you that your dreams are impossible, when the echoes of doubt become deafening, that is the moment your true power ignites. The power to defy, to persist, to transform. The comeback is born in that tension, the space between doubt and courage, despair and hope. History's greatest comebacks were not gifted. They were fought for with fierce conviction. Abraham Lincoln, ridiculed and defeated multiple times, refused to let his setbacks dictate his destiny. His persistence turned a fractured nation toward unity. Ford, laughed at and rejected, built an empire that changed the world. Their stories remind us greatness often wears the scars of struggle. Your mindset is your fortress. It is the unwavering belief that you can turn your setbacks into stepping stones. It is the voice that whispers, "Keep going," even when every muscle screams, "Stop." This mindset is a muscle strengthened with every choice to rise. Clarity sharpens as you move forward. It is the light that reveals your path when the night is darkest. When you focus on what truly matters, your purpose, your vision, the noise fades and the way becomes clear. Purpose fuels everything. It transforms effort into meaning and struggle into triumph. It is the fire that keeps you warm when the cold winds of adversity blow. Discipline is the steady hand that guides you through storms. It is the rhythm of daily commitment, the quiet force behind every success. Action turns dreams into reality. It is the pulse that animates your comeback story. Without action, even the brightest vision remains a flicker. Gratitude deepens your resilience. It opens your heart to the lessons hidden in pain and the gifts disguised as loss. Adaptability is your shield and sword. It allows you to pivot when plans falter and to grow through change. Learning is your map. It charts the course through every challenge and failure, guiding you to wisdom. Resilience is the song of your soul, the anthem of your comeback. Your setback was never your ending. It was your beginning. You are rising. You stand now at the edge of transformation, not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness, but badges of honor. Every tear, every wound, every moment of doubt has refined you, like steel forged in fire. The comeback is the ultimate act of courage. It is the declaration that no setback can chain your spirit, that no failure can extinguish your light. It is the fierce, unwavering commitment to show up for yourself every day, no matter the cost. Remember Edison, who turned failure into invention. Remember Lincoln, who turned defeat into leadership. Remember Oprah, who turned pain into power. Their comebacks were not accidents. They were choices. Choices to believe, to act, to persist. Your comeback is a promise you make to yourself and the world. A promise that your story will not end in silence or regret, but in victory and light. It is the roar of your soul, rising from the ashes louder and stronger than ever before. Discipline, purpose, action for one, belief, these are your allies on this path. Gratitude, adaptability, learning, resilience. These are the tools you wield to rebuild, reimagine, and rise. You are not defined by the setback. You are defined by the comeback. And the comeback is always stronger. Rise now. Your time is here. The weight of the past is heavy, yes, but it is not your prison. You are not shackled by the mistakes, the losses, or the moments you wish you could erase. Those moments are merely chapters in a book that is still being written. The pen is in your hand. The ink is your choice. You can rewrite the narrative, transform the pain, and sculpt a future that honors your scars instead of hiding them. Every scar tells a story not of defeat, but of survival. Each line etched into your skin or soul is a testament to battles fought and won. These marks are proof that you endured what most could not. They are a language of resilience, spoken by those who refuse to be broken. Your scars are not your shame. They are your strength, and they are the foundation on which your comeback is built. Look closely at the lives of those who reshaped history. Walt Disney was once told he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He was fired from a newspaper for lacking creativity. Yet he refused to let those words define him. Instead, he built an empire that redefined entertainment and sparked joy for generations. His setbacks were not walls, but doors. Doors he chose to open with courage and vision. Your comeback is the opening of those doors. It's the refusal to let fear, doubt, or past failures dictate your worth or your future. The path will be rough, the nights long, but inside you burns a fire that cannot be extinguished by circumstance. That fire is your essence, your purpose, your life force. Mindset is the soil where this fire takes root. It is not enough to wish or hope for change. You must cultivate the belief that change is inevitable. This belief is a seed that grows with every positive thought, every act of courage, and every refusal to quit. Like a mighty tree, your mindset will stretch its roots, deep drawing nourishment from experience and adversity. Clarity follows mindset. When you believe, you begin to see not the obstacles, but the opportunities hidden within them. You gain the vision to look beyond immediate pain and glimpse the horizon where your dreams live. This clarity is not granted overnight. It is earned through struggle, reflection, and unwavering commitment. Purpose is the compass that guides you through storms. It is the reason your spirit refuses to settle for less. Purpose is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. When Helen Keller said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all," she embodied the power of purpose. Your purpose calls you now louder than ever before to step into your comeback story with intention. Discipline is the steady heartbeat of transformation. It demands consistency, resilience, and focus. Discipline means showing up when the world offers every excuse to stay down. Carnegie's rise from poverty was not a stroke of luck, but the product of relentless discipline. Reading, learning, working, improving every day without fail. Action is the spark that ignites all potential. It is easy to dream, to plan, to hope. But without action, dreams remain shadows. Action requires courage. The courage to take imperfect steps, to fail forward, and to rise each time you fall. Every step, no matter how small, carries you closer to the summit of your comeback. Gratitude is the silent force that reshapes your perspective. It softens the sharp edges of pain and illuminates the gifts often hidden in hardship. When you cultivate gratitude, you transform suffering into strength and loss into legacy. Adaptability is the art of survival and growth. Life rarely unfolds as planned. The ability to bend without breaking, to pivot with grace, and to innovate in the face of uncertainty is the hallmark of every comeback story. Like bamboo in a storm, adaptability allows you to stand tall even when the winds rage. Learning is the treasure hidden in every setback. Failure is not an end, but a teacher, harsh but invaluable. Every mistake is a lesson, every wound a doorway to wisdom. Embrace learning as the key that unlocks your future. Resilience is the soul's anthem, the rhythm that keeps you moving when all else fails. It is the culmination of belief, clarity, purpose, discipline, action, gratitude, adaptability, and learning. Resilience is your signature, the mark of your comeback. Your comeback is not a possibility. It is a promise. It is a promise to yourself that you will rise again and again, stronger and more determined. The story of your comeback will inspire others, ripple through generations, and redefine what is possible. You are more than your setback. You are a force of nature, a light in the darkness, a living testament to the power of the human spirit. Rise. The world awaits your comeback. There is a sacred truth in the rhythms of life. Every fall carries within it the seed of a rise. The night, no matter how dark, always gives way to dawn. The storm, no matter how fierce, always fades to calm. Your setbacks, as brutal as they may feel, are not tombstones, but fertile soil for new growth. Look to the great figures who have walked this path before you. Abraham Lincoln faced failure after failure, business bankruptcies, lost elections, heartbreak. Yet he carried within him a vision so powerful, it outshone his defeats. His comeback was not just political, it was a resurrection of spirit, a triumph of hope over despair. This is the power of vision. Vision is more than a dream. It is a blueprint etched deep in the soul. It is the lighthouse that guides you through the fog of uncertainty and pain. Your vision is the voice of your future self, calling you forward with unwavering clarity and purpose. Belief is the fuel that keeps your vision alive. It is the unshakable conviction that no matter the setbacks, your goals are worth fighting for. Henry Ford, rejected by investors and mocked by skeptics, held this belief. He persevered until he changed the course of history with the automobile. Your belief must be bold and unyielding. Doubt will come. It will whisper lies of limitation and failure. But belief will drown out those whispers, a roaring river that sweeps away the debris of fear. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It transforms intention into habit, ideas into action. It is the daily grind, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the relentless pursuit of growth. Carnegie's dedication to self-education, reading by candlelight after long days of work, exemplifies this discipline. Action is where courage meets momentum. It is the relentless forward movement, no matter how small. Each step taken chips away at the mountain of doubt and builds the staircase to success. Gratitude is a revolutionary act. In a world obsessed with scarcity, gratitude reminds you of abundance. It opens your heart to the gifts around you, the lessons in failure, the strength in struggle, the love that sustains you. Oprah's gratitude practice fueled her rise from adversity to triumph. Adaptability is the art of survival and mastery. Life will throw curveballs, and your ability to pivot, to learn to innovate, will determine your comeback. Like water flowing around rocks, adaptability lets you find your way forward, even when the path changes unexpectedly. Learning is your greatest weapon. Every setback is a lesson in disguise. It teaches humility, resilience, creativity, and strength. Embrace every failure as a teacher that equips you for the battles ahead. Resilience is the heart of the comeback. It is the strength to rise again and again, fueled by purpose, discipline, action, and belief. It is the relentless pulse that keeps your spirit alive through every storm. Your comeback is inevitable, for it is woven into the fabric of your being. It is the answer to every moment you were told to give up. You are not just surviving, you are awakening, you are rising. The world is waiting for your light. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the world is still and your fears loom largest, remember this: the comeback is not about perfection. It's not about arriving fully formed, free from doubt or pain. The comeback is about the courage to begin again, to rise with all your scars, all your fears, and all your unspoken dreams. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed experiments, never saw failure. He saw discovery. He knew that each setback was a step closer to light. This mindset, this sacred perspective, is what separates those who succeed from those who surrender. It's the ability to see possibility where others see only obstacles. Your story is no different. Every setback you've faced has been a teacher, a sculptor molding you into the masterpiece you were born to become. The struggle has refined your vision and strengthened your resolve. The pain has cracked open your heart, allowing the light of resilience to shine through. Mindset is the battleground where your comeback is won or lost. It's the voice inside you, either a critic or a champion. You must choose to make it your fiercest ally. Feed it belief, clarity, and vision. Starve it of doubt and fear. Clarity comes not from comfort, but from struggle. When everything falls away, what remains is your purpose, your true north. Hold tight to this purpose, for it will guide you through the darkest nights and fiercest storms. Purpose fuels discipline. Discipline transforms dreams into daily actions. It is the grind, the commitment, the sacrifice made quietly when no one is watching. It is what separates fleeting hope from lasting achievement. Action turns potential into reality. It is imperfect, often messy, but always necessary. Walt Disney built his empire from countless failures and near bankruptcies. His success was the product of relentless action taken in the face of uncertainty. Gratitude softens the journey. It opens your eyes to the beauty in brokenness, the gifts hidden in struggle. It reminds you that you are alive, capable, and worthy, even in your most vulnerable moments. Adaptability is your survival instinct. Life rarely follows the script you wrote. Your ability to bend, pivot, and innovate will carry you farther than rigid plans ever could. Learning turns failure into wisdom. Each lesson absorbed adds armor to your soul and sharpens your insight. Embrace it. Grow from it. Let it propel you forward. Resilience is the soul's anthem. It is the steady heartbeat beneath every triumph, the fire that never dies. It is the essence of your comeback. You are not defined by the setbacks you've endured. You are defined by the comebacks you dare to create. Rise now. Claim your story. The world is waiting for the strength only you can bring. Your comeback is here, and it is unstoppable. There is a sacred truth that few embrace. Until they stand at the edge of despair, your comeback will demand everything you have. And yet, it will give you back more than you ever imagined possible. It is a crucible, a fiery test of your will, your spirit, your essence. It is where the broken pieces of your past are gathered and reforged into the armor of your future. This journey does not reward perfection. It rewards courage. It honors persistence. It is a pilgrimage of the soul, where every step forward is a victory over fear, over doubt, over the endless voices telling you to quit. The great figures in history, those we revere for their triumphs, are not mythic beings born without struggle. They are human beings who faced failure, rejection, and pain, yet chose to rise anyway. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed attempts, did not despair. He declared, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That relentless optimism was his engine. Imagine the power of that mindset, forged in the heat of relentless trying, sharpened by the refusal to give up. That power is within you now. It is the same fire that burned in the hearts of Lincoln, Ford, Oprah, and every soul who refused to let their setback become their end. Your mindset is not just a tool, it is the foundation of your comeback. It is the lens through which you interpret every event, every obstacle. It shapes your reality, your feelings, your actions. Cultivate a mindset of relentless belief, one that turns every setback into a stepping stone. Speak to yourself with the voice of a champion, not a victim. Clarity is your guiding star. When everything around you is chaos and uncertainty, clarity is the light that reveals your purpose. It is born from deep introspection, from facing uncomfortable truths without flinching. What is it that drives you? What is the fire that burns within you, even when all seems lost? This clarity is your compass, unshakable and unwavering. Purpose transforms struggle into meaning. When you understand why you endure, the pain becomes fuel, not a burden. Purpose is the force that pushes Edison through thousands of failed experiments and Lincoln through endless political defeats. It is the heartbeat of your comeback. Discipline is your daily ritual of commitment. It is the quiet power behind every victory. It demands sacrifice early mornings, late nights, the choices you make when no one is watching. Discipline keeps you moving when motivation fades. Carnegie's rise from poverty to self-made millionaire was not luck. It was the result of relentless discipline. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is not enough to dream or plan. You must act consistently and boldly. Walt Disney's empire was built on countless acts of courage, persistence, and risk-taking. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your comeback. Gratitude is a revolutionary force. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what is present. Gratitude softens the sharp edges of hardship and opens your heart to resilience. Oprah Winfrey credits gratitude as the anchor that held her steady through trials and triumphs alike. Adaptability is your survival skill in a world of uncertainty. Life rarely follows your script. The ability to pivot, to bend, without breaking, to innovate. When faced with unexpected challenges, these are the marks of those who rise stronger. Learning is your most valuable currency. Every failure, every mistake, every setback is a lesson wrapped in disguise. When you embrace learning, you arm yourself with wisdom and insight. This knowledge becomes your secret weapon on the path to comeback. Resilience is the anthem of your soul. It is the steady, unyielding rhythm beneath every step forward. It is the force that makes you stand when everything inside you screams to fall. Resilience is not just enduring, it is thriving in spite of adversity. You may feel broken, battered, and weary, but you are far from defeated. Your setback is a chapter, not the whole story. It is a moment in time, not your identity. You carry within you the power to rebuild, to renew, to reclaim your life with fierce intention. Look around at the world. It is full of stories like yours. Stories of pain transformed into power loss, turned into legacy. Your story adds to this tapestry of triumph. Your comeback will be a beacon for those who follow a lighthouse in the storm. This moment is your invitation. Will you answer it? Will you stand and say, I am not done? My story is not over. The comeback is not just an event. It is a process, a journey, a sacred act of becoming. It will demand everything you have, your courage, your faith, your heart. But it will give you back your life, your light, your purpose. Rise with the knowledge that the greatest chapters of your life are still unwritten. Rise knowing that the comeback is always stronger than the setback. Rise knowing that your spirit is unbreakable. Your time is now.